All right, I think we are live right now, guys. Good evening, everybody. I see Lucy in the chat. I see BBD was in the chat. How's everybody doing tonight? We're live right now. Just outside of Chicago, Illinois. Right on the right on the Illinois-Wisconsin border. Good evening to everybody. Hammer, what's going on? Welcome to the neighborhood, says Hammer. Lucy, how are you tonight? How is everyone doing? Man, let me take this down real quick. Hang on. Let me know, guys. Is there any lag right now? How does the audio sound? Smith, what's going on? How you doing tonight, man? Adria, good evening. How are you tonight? Oh, man, I got a crazy setup right now. Hopefully the audio sounds good. Let me know, guys. Just do me a favor. If you're watching live right now, put a 1 in the chat if the audio sounds good. Yeah, good. Tom, good evening. How are you tonight? How's everyone doing? Oh, man, what a crazy day. Oh, crazy day. Audio sounds good. Excellent. Good, guys. All right, nice. Billy, how's it going? Audio is good? Awesome. All right. Man, today was a good day. A lot of traveling in the last 24 hours, but dude, I met another ape on the train, which was awesome. Shout out to RJ if he's listening. Good stuff. Another hodler, which was great, man. We started talking. I was asking him, I was telling him about the trip and the film and the documentary that I'm doing. And he went to my YouTube channel and he's like, oh man, I own GameStop. I'm like, he came back down the train, was like, hey man, I just went and looked at your channel. I'm holding GameStop too. So that was a great thing, right? To come on the train and run into another person who's in this fight with us. I don't know, it was uplifting for me just to see, how many of us there are out there in reality, right? It looks sometimes when things look the bleakest, I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, it's good to know that there's a lot of us out there that are in this fight, which is awesome. I was like, all right, I got to get back to, I got to get to where I'm going and make sure I can go on live tonight and make sure I'm available for everyone. Pocus, good evening. How you doing tonight? Wrecked Night. How is everyone? I'm in a good mood. I'm that really was cool to run into another retail investor just like us who, we had no idea who each other were, right? Until we made that connection and then he went and saw the channel and he's like, "Oh man, I'm holding GME." So, yeah, I got the Pelican on the bed. Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of them too off screen you can't see, but so let me tell you guys what happened. And I still haven't heard back from Amtrak on their official policy yet, but so yesterday when I was leaving Philadelphia to head to Chicago, the train took off with all of my camera equipment. All 3 of my Pelicans were on the Amtrak train, and I'm not going to say anything negative about Amtrak until I hear back from them on what their official policy is. But according to them, I needed a paper ticket to get on the train. The train took off with all my camera equipment, leaving me on the platform screaming at the conductor and the engineers, telling them, hey, my camera equipment right now is in one of your rail cars. I need to get on this train. And the train took off without me. So I am waiting to get back to, waiting for them to get back to me. But I was furious. I was freaking out because my computer, everything was on that train. I'm like, guys, my whole life is on that train right now. Do you understand why I can't leave this stuff for more than 2 seconds? It needs to be by my side at all times. 1796 Patriot, how you doing tonight? What is going on, my friend? Good evening. How is everyone doing? I tell you, man, I besides just, meeting another retail investor on the train, which was awesome. Coming up to Chicago, just in the last couple of days, like following the news here, it's amazing how much, the amount of shootings. And, it's on the news all the time, right? The mainstream media, the national news doesn't discuss it that much. Local news, when you really get into a city like this, like coming into Chicago, watching the local news right now, what they're talking about and the amount of crime that's going on. So just this weekend in Chicago alone, 40 people were shot, 4 fatally. 40 people were shot. 5 people were shot in a drive-by early Sunday morning in West Garfield Park. Chicago police said one of the victims, a 40-year-old woman, was shot multiple times, pronounced dead at a hospital. The other 4 victims were taken to various hospitals in fair condition. One of the victims told police that a person in a vehicle shot at them around 2 a.m. in the 4,000 block of West Washington Street. No one is in custody at the time. It is unprecedented. I haven't looked at the numbers recently, but the amount of shootings going on in Chicago right now is really something. Darren, how you doing tonight? Yeah, so Broke Ape. So what happened was, okay, so let me explain what Amtrak did so I can clarify. So they took all of my cases. They went along ahead of me on a train. They got me on the next train out of New York City to Albany. In Albany, we caught up with that train. And when I got into the Albany station, they held the train up and I was able to jump on in Albany and got to Chicago this afternoon. But they didn't make it easy. And like I said, I'm going to wait until the official policy, until they give me, this audio sounds a little loud. I'm going to wait till they come back and give me an official word on what their policy is. But the paper ticket thing in 2023 sounds a little ridiculous. I mean, am I the only one that thinks that, or is that the case? Darren, how you doing tonight? Good evening. Good evening. All right, so we got 51 people right now in the live stream. Lucy, I wish I was doing some partying. I can't be doing any partying, man. I got to get to Kenosha tomorrow. I got to film as much as I can of Kenosha, then get back to Chicago so I can hop on a train to head west. I think I have to be on the train in like less than 48 hours to head to Seattle. 1796 Patriot says, just finishing up some Alabama white sauce smoked chicken. Wow, that sounds good. Beer slamming time, 10:30 at night. Good to hear, 1796 Patriot. Backyard Boogie, how you doing tonight? What is going on, my friend? Good evening. Is anyone else on live right now? Is there anyone else on? I reached out to Tony earlier. I wanted to see if he wanted to get to get on for a collab, but I haven't heard back from him yet. Yeah, man, thank you. Get your ticket. Domric, it's 2023. You think I should need a paper ticket to get on a damn train, an Amtrak train? Doesn't that sound a little ludicrous to you? Kryptonian, thank you. Oh, Phil's on right now? Okay. Philly, if you're hearing this, how you doing? Philly for real is on. Brandon says, get you some deep dish pizza while you're here in Chicago. All right. I'm going to work on that. This isn't the mayor, is it? Brandon? I hope if this is Brandon Johnson, hook me up. Tell me where to go, man. Where should I go get pizza deep dish in Chicago? Can anybody help me with that? I'm also looking to see if JT Wisco is going to jump on. I'm right on the border. Heading to Kenosha tomorrow. Brandon says no. It's not the mayor. All right. Gary, how you doing tonight? Gary says, can't wait for football to start so I can take my mind off stupid AMC. You know, it's funny. I was the gentleman I was talking to on the train, RJ. He's holding GameStop, and we were saying like, man, how crazy it is that we've been holding for 2.5 years. He's like, I used to look every day and follow the charts 24/7 and do technical analysis and watch the breakdowns. He's like, I can't do that anymore. I'm like, man, none of us can. I had to give it up a long time ago, or else it was going to put me in into a heart attack situation. Tom says, considering Amtrak trains are so old, you're lucky you don't need a rock to check in. I know. It wasn't the most comfortable ride, I'll tell you, from Philly to Chicago. But I'm learning some lessons as far as like, man, they want you there like an hour ahead of time to make a train. But then they have, it's an hour and a connecting. I had trouble connecting every city so far. Almost every train has been at least an hour and a half late. Lucy says Giordano's is the best, and so does Billy. Okay. I'm writing this down. Giordano's. You know where I want to go tomorrow? I want to go see what it is. I want to go to Citadel's old building and see what's there. I'm wondering if everything is gone or if there's still some sign that Citadel is around there or what. I'm going to go check. Dion says, hey, Mass, I'm from Waukegan, 40 minutes away from Chicago and 15 minutes from Kenosha. Hey, Dion, how you doing tonight, man? All right, so I'm really close to you, man. Yeah, I'm right outside of O'Hare Airport, so I'm not far from you at all. I'm planning on heading up to Kenosha tomorrow. I want to go do some filming. That's cool, man. We are very close to each other right now. What is going on with that? What? An indictment for January 6th in 2023? What are we talking about? I'm sorry. That's just crazy. Yeah, I did. 1796 Patriot. I did hear. Yeah. I did hear. Tony was live with Teddy tonight. Okay. Brandon says Lou Malnati's pizza is my favorite. I'm going to put that down too. All right. So I guess the one thing I'm going to do while I'm in Chicago is get deep dish, huh? Dion, by the way, how far am I, would you say, right now from Kenosha? If I'm just outside the airport. Yes, that is some BS. Hey, Canuck Tide, how you doing tonight? I thought deep dish was only for tourists, but legit Chicagoans eat a very special Chicago-style thin crust. That I haven't heard of. Lucy says, go check out the Navy Pier in downtown Chicago. Brandon says, Connect Tide, you are correct. What would I ask for if I want that type of pizza? A thin crust Chicago style. Is that what I would ask for? Giordano's and Lou Malnati's pizza is my favorite. Hey, Benjamin, how you doing tonight, man? Dion, I'm still an hour from Kenosha? Jeez. Damn, I thought I was closer. Lou Malnati's. Backyard Boogie says they can act the 14th Amendment with January 6th indictment. Man, they just found cocaine in the White House like a week and a half ago. And they're indicting Trump for January 6th. It's something to behold watching this whole thing go down in real time. It's really something else. Unbelievable. Did this administration has the gall to weaponize the DOJ like that they are and influencing local politics and district attorneys to file these suits is just something to behold. It really is. Gary says, leave an ape sticker on the front door of Citadel's old building. I think I have one more of these green ones right here, Gary, that says stop illegal short selling. I should slap that right on the front door. Dion says I'm still an hour from Kenosha. Man, I didn't realize I was that far still. Frick. I got to go to Kenosha, man. That's like one of my biggest things was I need to, I want to get some footage to see what it looks like right now. Dion, yeah, I mean, it's not even a question. I'm like, thinking about how much it's going to cost me to get up there. I need to look at the, and I will check when we get off the live stream tonight, but I got to look at the local commuter rail service to see how I can get up to Kenosha tomorrow. Canucktide says Pat's Pizzeria and Ristorante on Lincoln Ave for thin crust. All right, Canucktide. Beautiful. I'm going to try one of these places. All right. He also says old world style or tavern style Chicago thin crust. That's what I'm asking for. All right. Andrew, how you doing tonight? Andrew says 17 days on reg show list with no price action. Time for pitchforks. How are we explaining? How is this being explained that we're having this issue with the stock? It really is another thing. Like, I've been pulled away from the market for the last couple of weeks, right? Because I've been doing this filming and moving around up and down the coast. I haven't been able to keep like on track of the market as on top of it, especially as I'd like to be with trying to make some money, right? On the side right now, because I'm worried about filming and I'm bouncing around on the train. I'm not keeping my eyes. I'm not as focused as I was on the market when I was settled. That's what I'll say. So, talking about the market right now, stocks, AMC, I'm in a bad position because I'm not following it as closely as I should be. Just because everything in the person. Andrew says, explanation equals crime. Right, Andrew? 1796 Patriot, man. God bless you, man. Thank you very much. Much love. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man. That's it's another thing about this community, man. If it wasn't for you guys, I mean, I spent the other morning before I left putting that video together. They put a copyright claim on it because I ran that little video of the girl who fell down and picked herself up and won the race. Still, they put a copyright claim on it, so I couldn't even get put ads on it to run ads to make money. So thank you for the super chats, because if it wasn't for the super chats and people who have been donating to Venmo and Cash App, it would be really rough for me to continue on with this because I can't. There's no other way for me to bring in money right now. So I really appreciate everyone who's helping out with this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Canucktide says, to quote Trey back in the day, crime, LOL. Yeah, BBD. By the way, who was it the other day that was it you, BBD, that said something when me and Tony were doing the live stream together about the berry flavored chapstick? I was trying to cut in to say something, but I didn't have a chance to jump in. He was on a roll. But yeah, 1796 Patriot, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Much love, man. Thank you. Doc Zeno, how you doing tonight? Ellie, good evening. BBD says, yes. I thought so, man. You had me rolling. I wasn't in the best mood tonight. The night I did the collab with T, I wasn't in the best mood, but you helped out. I saw your I saw your message there in the chat. I'm like, all right, man. Thanks for putting a smile on my face. I appreciate you. Yeah, Ellie, I'm safe so far. So I'm trying to keep. So I have 6 more rides left, Ellie. Oh boy. I have 6 more rides left. When I get to the West Coast, if I have enough rides, I am going to come down the coast. Yeah. I have the next leg of my trip planned out so far. I know I'm going to be taking the train at least probably as far west as Spokane, Washington by the end of the week. Brandon says, here we go. Thank you for asking, Ellie. Brandon says the Metro train, Metro, or is it Metro? Will get you to Kenosha, Wisconsin, about an hour and a half train ride. Okay. This is what I need. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Brandon, for the heads up. Whether it's Metro or Metro, doesn't matter. Will take me to Kenosha about an hour and a half. All right. That'll work. $7 to $10, I can swing that. I tell you, you know what my biggest mistake was before I got on this journey? Was not realizing that rail pass, that there was limited seating on Amtrak. Had I known that, I might have just booked individual train rides. I might have not bought a rail pass. Just keep that in mind. Anyone traveling across the country, if you're thinking about taking a train on Amtrak, keep that in the back of your head. Make sure if you're going to buy a rail pass that you have your trains planned out, your trip planned out, and give yourself at least, I would say, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Christian Princess, how you doing tonight? Brandon says, yes, it is Metro. Okay, man. Thank you. Canuck Tide says, has there been any development? No. No, I did hear something, though. I saw there was another lawsuit just filed, maybe in the last 24 or 48 hours. Another lawsuit. I'm going to have to go look it up and see what it's exactly about. Anything Goes says, what is the purpose of your filming? So Anything Goes. I'm kind of doing I'm just doing a look at the country. I'm going into some cities. I've been in downtown Philadelphia so far. Not downtown really so much, but some of the more worse off parts of the United States. I'm going to do some filming of, and where I've been so far has been, the last place I just came from was Kensington, the Kensington area of Philadelphia. That's where I was just filming. There's a major open air drug market there. And I was doing filming, basically driving around that neighborhood, filming B-roll of what it looks like on the ground there. And, I've seen the footage before on other YouTube channels, but I'm trying to make a documentary film about all the problems and issues that we've had since the 2020 lockdowns that are still issues we're dealing with right now. And, where is the government stepping up to help out these communities that are overwhelmed with the homelessness, with the drug addiction, with the mentally challenged, with those who are going through mental illness? Where is all the money going? Why is it that so many people are suffering right now? I'm trying to get a better understanding of it and show the rest of the country what's really going on the ground here. 1796 Patriot says, that Biden is a big Amtrak supporter. Why would you think they wouldn't have systematic issues? He crushed the union. 1796 Patriot, right? He crushed all the rail workers that when the union talks came, he went and shut them down. I mean, it's unbelievable. But going back to AMC, so there's been no major updates, I don't think, with the judge. She hasn't made a decision yet, so we're still waiting on her. I mean, I'm in the same position with you guys. We are all just waiting, hanging out, waiting for her to make up her mind and figure out what she's going to do, right? I mean, there's only so much reporting I can do on AMC on a daily basis without drowning you guys in unnecessary propaganda or just to go out and get clicks, right? I'm not going to waste your time with that. I said when I got up to Chicago, I was going to come on and do a live stream. I thought it was great that I met another one of us today on the train. I wanted to relay that story to you guys and tell you, that, all of us out there who are struggling right now, understand there's a lot of us out there that are in this fight. So, Ed says, good work, Massalorian. Proud of your efforts. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. I just, look, I'm a concerned patriot, just like the rest of you guys. I'm worried about this country. I'm worried about what's the future holds for my kids, if ever I have some someday. I'm concerned. I'm legitimately concerned. It's why I'm coming on here. Why I continue to do this, right? Because I know that a lot of you guys have the same concerns I do, whether it's about the market or the economy or the state of the country. I am in this fight with you guys, and I like to have this just so at least you guys have a platform somewhere you can come to and feel like you can express yourself and get your issues at least out into the open, right? And feel comfortable speaking your mind. Damn, Rick, maybe. So if I stay on schedule right now, I'll be on the West Coast by Friday or Saturday. I would say I'm going to need about a week to edit the footage that I've shot so far. I've been shooting all over the place, whether it's inside the trains or, I'm making a 20 to 25 minute documentary, a short film pretty much. So I'm going to take my time. I'm going to put music to it. A little bit of a soundtrack. I'm going to make a trailer for it. It's going to take a little time. It's going to be at least probably 2 weeks before I have an actual documentary out, maybe even 2.5. Hopefully it will do well on YouTube, right? Because I'm putting a lot of time and money and effort into it. And especially the traveling I'm doing right now is backbreaking. I mean, that last trip on the train from Philly to Chicago, oh man, it is not comfortable. It is not comfortable. Ed Backwater says, we got a lot of work to do in our homeland. Fuck blue, fuck red. We are hurting Americans, and we are Americans, and we are hurting. Yeah. I mean, like I said, so I'm up here in Chicago over the weekend. What was it? 40, I said people were shot. 40 people shot, 4 fatally. And here's Broke Ape says, I back what Ed just said. Michael says, can't wait to see it. Yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna come out good, man. I'm hoping it's gonna pick up some steam on YouTube. Hopefully a lot of people will get to see it and understand, this shit's real. What's happening? This is real life. People are really hurting right now. I'm gonna play something. I want to play something that I did upload. I saw that Stephen A. Smith went on a rant the other day. Let me see if I can bring it up. Hang on one sec, guys. I thought it was interesting what he said, but I want to know what you guys think. Hang on one sec. All right, let's pop this up. Floyd says, exposed it all. It's corruption everywhere. Yeah, agreed. SCC. Floyd. Seriously, man. Every single one. I know. All right, let me play this little clip from Stephen A. It's a little bit of a rant. Look, these are not my words. This is what's coming out of his mouth, but he's talking about Chicago in specifically where I am right now. So I believe it's applicable in this situation, if that word makes sense. Hang on.
Not smoke one another, and take one another out and damn sure not be quiet about it. But that's what a lot of people want. You want the Stephen A's of the world to shut the hell up. And I'm not talking about the white community. I'm not talking about the Hispanic community. I'm talking about my own community. Oh, don't say anything. Why we pointing that out? Why we're talking about it? Because we're dying. That's why. We're killing one another. That's why. You got black people scared to go in their own damn communities. I remember last year watching television and we had black folks in Chicago calling for martial law, calling for the National Guard to come in just so they could go home safe at night. Are we supposed to be quiet about that? We ain't supposed to say anything? We just supposed to look at race? We supposed to point the finger at white America like we ain't culpable? That's what we supposed to do? Nah. I'm not doing that. We're not helping each other by being quiet and averting ourselves from holding our own selves accountable. This isn't a political issue, veering towards the right or the left. This is about life and death. That's what this is about.
Is he lying, though? Man, it's crazy coming out here and seeing all this killing going on. All I have seen for the last 2.5 weeks is multiple homicides in every major city across this country. There's 4, 5, 6, 7 people being killed every weekend. This is gotten completely out of hand. They have lost all control over some of these cities and some of the affected neighborhoods that have run into this huge uptick in crime and lawlessness. It is Brandon says he's correct. Yeah, I mean, it's and I don't live in these communities, so I don't understand really a lot of the cultural aspects to it, but I can see with my own 2 eyes what the hell is going on. And it doesn't seem like local government is making it better here. As a matter of fact, when I first checked in today, the first thing that I saw on Chicago local TV was a guy coming on crying about saying that there's nothing to do. There's no they need more programs and a lot of stuff. And I'm like, yelling at the federal government. It's like, what about the local government? Like, they're not doing anything. What are they doing to clamp down on the lawlessness? The fact that people are so frightened around here, man, just my Uber driver is telling me like, hey, stay out of this neighborhood, stay away from here. You can't go here and film. I'm thinking to myself, am I going to be safe when I go to Kenosha? Everyone telling me to watch my back. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Ice Cream is in the chat. It says, went to Boston Saturday, seen the sights, walked the Freedom Trail. Quincy Market was busy. Good. I want to see Boston do well. I want to see the inner cities do well. I want to see the economy doing well in the inner cities. I want to see people working. I want to see people getting along. You don't want to see all the crime going on. This is unacceptable for a first world country like the United States, that all of this criminality is allowed to continue, that there should be a major crackdown on crime right now. It's even public spaces that you would think would be safe right now. If you were out traveling, let's just say, and I know a lot of you guys get out and travel a lot, but just in the last couple of weeks being inside some of these inner cities, man, you got to have eyes on the back of your head. There is just rampant crime going on right now. Rampant. BBD says all by design. And Cashman says, but yes, it's unfolding. And I don't know how we address this issue. I don't know how we as a country, I don't know what we can do. Like, how much can I really help by doing live streams like this? Like, am I bringing anything to the table? Not really, right? I mean, I'm just on here bitching. It seems like need to get activated. I don't know. I probably should shut up. But it is, it's sad to see the state right now that some people are in. And I've met a lot of amazing people on this trip. Like I said, I met an awesome guy earlier today. My Uber drivers. I see a lot of people who are working hard. There are a lot of people out there who are working hard right now. There's a lot of people who are not. I'll be honest with you. Everyone that's working in the hotel industry, the service industry out here, it is a lot of people from other countries, immigrants, blank Americans, Indian Americans, Egyptian Americans, Pakistani Americans, Colombian Americans. There's a lot of people also who are working who are not Americans, right? There are a lot of people who I've met on the road so far who don't speak a word of English, who have all been here less than a year. The country is definitely changing big time. Big time. And I don't know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just something I'm noticing while I'm traveling across the country. It seems to be that a lot of immigrants are doing very well for themselves, and Americans are struggling, which is weird. It's weird to see. Anything goes, says Mass. At least you're doing something about it, that along with worthy of respect. Most of us, most of our time, we just turn a blind eye. I can't anymore, man. I can't. I'm having a real time doing that. A real hard time doing that. To just ignoring everything that's going on, whether it's the child trafficking, the stuff we saw in Sounds of Freedom, bringing some awareness to that, whether it's the gun violence that's going on, whether it's the corruption within the stock market, the SEC, Gary Gensler, who should have been gone a year and a half ago. I don't know how he's still commissioner of the SEC. We can't turn a blind eye to these things anymore. There's a reason why retail investors are always at a disadvantage. There's a reason why the 1% stay where they are, and it's because a lot of us tend to bury our heads in the sand. Thank God none of you guys are. We're all on here talking, discussing this. Brendan says, I just wanted to end. Can we go back to the 80s? No, man. It's 2023. We cannot go back. Cannot go back. Brocape says, I appreciate every moment you spend to educate people at Mass. Brocape, thanks, man. And Christian Princess, thank you. Says, when Mass finishes the film, we can all help him by sharing it everywhere. Look, I'm just, like I said, I'm just a patriot like you guys are. I love this country. I love the opportunity it's given me. My grandparents fought to keep this country free, and to be able to have this platform right now that we're all talking on live, being able to express our First Amendment right to freedom of speech. That's such an important thing. We need to protect that. It's another reason why I continue to come on here, because I think that fight is worth fighting for. We need to keep free speech. Even if they're going to demonetize everything I put on YouTube and restrict the advertisers on it, it sucks. It sucks, and probably being shadow banned because of political stances. It's not the best feeling in the world, right? And knowing that there's probably some bias to your channel, and how much you can actually grow because of what your political ideas are. But it is what it is, and we deal with it, right? BBD says, rise up and take the power back. It's time the fat cats have a heart attack. Their time is coming to an end. We have to unify and watch our flag ascend. Come on. Yeah. J-Dog says, this generation of new hires barely cutting it. Very high turnover rate. No one's staying employed. I don't know how inflated the unemployment numbers are, or I don't know how misrepresented they are, but it seems like there's no one out there working right now. Kryptonian, I mean, doesn't it, Kryptonian? How else do you explain what we're witnessing right now? Like, what other explanation is there out there that you could say and point to and say, that makes sense. Oh no, that policy makes sense. Oh yeah, that policy makes sense. Michael says, pants up, don't loot. I can't believe I'm still an hour and a half away from Kenosha. Andrew says, Mass is the real deal. Takes a lot to be intelligent and very humble. Man, it's not really being humble, right? No, none of us out here are any better than anyone else. I mean, we are all equals on the same playing field, the same level, as far as intelligence and everything else goes. I just happen to be carrying around some equipment with me, and I'm coming on here talking with you guys, right? I'm not doing anything special here, but I appreciate all the support from you guys. If it wasn't for all of you guys, we wouldn't have this community. We wouldn't have this fight still going on. So thank God for you guys. Christian Princess says, right? That gotta be a little off, right? You would think. You would think. GT says, work for yourself. Don't punch a time clock. GT, that's why I got to hurry up and get settled down. Like, I need to get in and be able to make some day trades, make some extra money, right? I'm not going to get any money from this documentary. So, unless it somehow blows up on YouTube, but that's going to be all that's going to be on me, right? To make a good documentary that people want to reshare and like and all that. Bob Gines Sr. says it's 25. That seems like a more realistic number to me. If you were to go back to before the pandemic, I would say that we are probably at, that sounds much more like a legit number, 25% unemployment. And no doubt about it, since 2020, all of the immigrants, whether they're economic migrants or political refugees, whatever their cause is for coming to the United States or whatever they said to get here, they are filling in for that workforce gap, that part of the workforce that was eliminated or disappeared post-COVID. Hey, Dana. It's always good to see your face, too. Michael says, remember, it's election year. Stock market will go up. I'm interested to see how long this bull run continues for. Being in some of these cities the last couple of weeks, how much commercial real estate out there is empty. I got to do a video. Maybe I'll make it tonight after we get off. But they were talking about the conversion of the workspace, a lot of the buildings in Philadelphia that they're trying to now redo and make into living spaces. And some of the things we were talking about the other night, guys, came back up in the news story that they did. They were talking about like how you have to, on one floor, usually in a commercial space, you'd have a bathroom or maybe two bathrooms at most. If you want to turn that into a living space, you need to be able to have multiple sinks and possibly multiple bathrooms. So all that plumbing needs to be done. I saw I think it was Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, who was on, and he was showing all of the permits that you need to pull in order to do that work. Or maybe it was the mayor of Philadelphia. Don't quote me on that. But they were talking about how difficult it is to sometimes pull permits to do this kind of work. The other thing they talked about was not having enough light. So because of the way it's set up for commercial, and probably Lucy, you would know this, but the way commercial buildings are set up and commercial workspace, you don't need like natural light from windows necessarily in all of that space. So they were saying that they have to make very deep Like they need to be able to pull at least a couple windows for each unit, which leaves these huge interior spaces that you can't use, right? So all that square footage that used to be leased space that was bringing in income for these buildings, you're no longer getting that, right? Lucy says, "Hey Mash, I tried adding you to my Cash App, but your Cash App name is JONNYMASSALORIAN. Doesn't come up on my account." Yeah, someone else said they had trouble sending the money to Johnny Massalorian. I got to find out why that is. And I didn't put it in the description tonight, but that is the that's supposed to be the Cash App link. I don't know why it's people are not being able to send money to it. That's like the second or third time someone said that. I got to find out why. Thank you, Lucy. I'm going to find out why that is. And I got to do that soon. Ellie says, Ellie, it'll be over soon. Yeah, probably. It's got to be, right? We got to be coming into a bear market soon. It's been bullish way too long. Way too long. With all the capital and liquidity that's been sucked out of the market, you got to think at some point it's coming back to earth, right? Broke Ape says, how's the wording, Mass? Is that the correct spelling? Johnny Massalorian. I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. That's a good question. Hang on one second. Hold on. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, so it should be the $sign JONNYMASSALORIN. Yeah, that's it. That should be the right one. That should be it, Lucy. I did have an issue with it too, but the bed is pretty comfy. I haven't got to sleep in it yet, but oh yeah, I don't need boss jealous at anybody. Don't get him jealous of me. Michael says market will be so Michael, you believe that, huh? You're thinking that the market's going to stay artificially propped up until the election is over? I've seen other people say that. I have. Yeah. It's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought. Billy says people are employed. The problem is the jobs have pay much too little. You know what? I would say in the last 2 weeks, I've met maybe 5 or 6 truckers. One of the guys I talked to today was a CDL long distance trucker. Out of all of them that I've spoken to, 5 out of the 6 said their work's decreased, had like a 50% drop off, meaning that they used to be working 5 to 6 days a week, and that has now turned into 2 or 3. Now, that might not sound like much, and I'm sure I'm not, I have a very small sample size that I'm taking from, right? But that did not sound good. He got permanently suspended on Twitter for what? Why did he get suspended from Twitter? Hulk Hogan says all the COVID money has vanished. That's another thing, right? Yes. They extrapolated how much? Over 2 trillion out of the market in the last year and a half. Hulk says all the COVID money has vanished from the market and hedges need the money from somewhere. That's why you're seeing all-time high FTDs across the board. And it says, Ellie, my heart is too big for just one. Juicy got you crazy? How you doing tonight? Oh, man. Does that really look like a comfortable bed? I haven't even got to lay on it yet. I did. I laid on it for about 5 minutes. I threw the TV on. I was trying to get my Fire Stick hooked into the TV so I could watch some YouTube videos. No doubt about it. Yeah. Juicy, I'm good. How you doing? Because boss tweeted. Oh, I saw that. Is that why? Get the F out of here. They suspended him for that? They should all be hung. Seriously, I will be the first one to grab the rope. I got no problem with that, honestly. I really don't. I really don't. If there's one sector of society that I have no sympathy for, it is pedos. There's no space in my heart for them. So, like I said, I'd be the first one to go grab a rope. Yuka says, Mass, you can do some good pouncing in that bed, bro. Yuka, can you send some females over? I got no luck, man. Where am I going to find females tonight? I'm here with you guys on the internet talking. I'd have to go to a bar or a nightclub or something. Yeah, Floyd. I got no problem. GT brings up a great point, right? What does it say when you got people on CNN coming out and downplaying child trafficking? The worst of the worst in prisons, it's even too much for them, right? If you come into prison and you are convicted, or you've been, even if there's just allegations that you've done something like that, you get your wig split, right? Why that should, the fact that the criminals know better and our own mainstream media doesn't, tells you a lot about where the country is right now, right? From the Ground Up says, if you're in Chicago, stay inside. It's wild out there. Thanks, From the Ground Up. Is that supposed to make me feel safe going out tomorrow? Jeez. Thanks for the support. Tommy B, how you doing tonight? Dana says, at the Amtrak station, it's a hot spot. Oh, man. You guys are funny. Tommy B 8432 is incoming. How you doing tonight, Thomas? Good to see you, man. I don't know if you heard earlier, but I was saying I met another hodler on the train today, another retail investor, which was awesome. We didn't even know that. I just happened to see him when we got off at so on Amtrak, when you come into certain stations, you can get out for like 10 minutes. They let you jump out on the platform to get some fresh air. I jumped off. I just walked up to this guy. He happened to be vaping over in the corner. Started talking to him, struck up a conversation, asked him about what he was doing on the train. Come to find out, he goes to the YouTube channel and sees that I'm an AMC YouTuber, GME AMC hodler. He's like, me too, man. So that was awesome. James Harris, what's going on tonight? You're not late, man. You're just on time. Everybody's right on time. Don't worry about it. Nobody's late. All the times that I'm late, I get my balls busted for being late. Tommy says, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking, I'm assuming. Good, man. Good stuff. Broke Ape says, Hulk Hogan, that's just feel crazy. Wow. Ice Cream says, we have people that work in my area that travel an hour and a half to find work. Yeah. $17.96 Patriot says, is that when they took all your equipment? Is that when they took all your equipment? You mean the train? The Amtrak took my equipment? That was yesterday. I'm telling you guys, I came so close. I said, so I'm trying to think on my feet, right? Because let me explain to you let me set up the scenario for you. I'm standing on the platform. The Amtrak train is pulling away from the platform with my 3 Pelican cases on it. And the guy who's standing on the platform with me is one of the Amtrak customer servant reps or agents. He's one of the higher ups in Amtrak. I'm yelling at him saying, dude, my camera, my computer, everything is on that train right now. My whole life savings is on that train. And just pulled out of the station. I said, you need to stop that train. He said, they're not stopping for anything. So me, dummy, of course, I say, oh yeah, I bet you if I call in a BOMB threat, they'll stop. And he looked at me like this. And then I thought about it for a second and said, okay, that'd be massively stupid. You cannot do that. You're an idiot. So I calmed down and said, okay, man, we got to figure out how to get my stuff. So they did. James Harris says, yeah, man, I was trying to think, right? I'm like, I need to stop that train. I can't jump in front of it. There's only one thing that's going to stop that train, and that would be a BOMB. But again, I calmed down, and I said, all right, man, we need to figure this out. Like I said, they held the train in Albany for me. But again, in 2023, you should not need a physical ticket to get on a train, especially if you have some type of pre-reservation where you're taking 3 or 4 trains in a row. You know, like I told you guys, I've been held up for so long trying to travel because when you buy this rail pass, they only have a certain amount of seats available to people who purchase a rail pass. So it is a very good deal to get the rail pass, right? You pay $500, one flat rate, and you get 10 transfers. But if you can't book those, if you don't plan well enough in time, you can't book the trip straight through. You're going to be staying in hotels in between. And that's where I am right now. So I'm held up here. And I've had to decide what cities am I going to go to while I'm being held up for this rail pass. And it's going to be Kenosha tomorrow. I'm in Chicago now. Right, Demrick? I know. I thought of that too. But I gotta say they did get me to my stuff, so I can't freak out. But I when I was upstairs inside customer service and talking with them, I mean, I was shaking to the point where I think physically they could see that. And I think that's one of the only reasons that they actually held the train for me. Pretty Dana, I was right on the platform and I was screaming because the train, there was another engine right next to us. So I was really loud. And I'm like, I bet you if yeah, that was very stupid, but cooler heads prevailed, and I did not call in anything. After I thought about it, I'm like, I can't believe that even came out of my mouth. But when you see standing on a platform and you see an Amtrak train pulling away with your computer, your camera, all my audio equipment, my microphones, everything is in these cases, my headphones. I can't do anything if I don't have these, right? So Table Rock Guy says, nice. Yeah, that I wouldn't do either, right? Tell me something. I'm just curious in the chat. Who out there right now thinks that because of everything we've seen, like with TikTok and Twitter and these videos of the AMC theaters, who thinks there's now some kind of coordination behind these AC and the film stopping? Do you guys think there's something going on there, or I'm curious? 1796 Patriot says, I'm amazed they didn't lock you up. Looking back on it now, 1796 Patriot, me too. Me too. I'm like, I might have locked myself up. I know, man. It's true. It's true. I can't believe they didn't either. I think the guy legit, I mean, he saw how upset I was. Like, literally, I was shaking. I mean, I can't tell you, but like physically, I was shaking. I think he could tell that, I think he felt bad, honestly. Yeah, I think he felt bad. Hug says conspiracy theorists. Look, I don't think there's any coordinated effort by AMC, the C-suite, Adam Aaron, anyone like that trying to hold this movie back. Look, they took a chance putting this movie out. It did extremely well. Thank God for all of us that are holding. Yuka says Mass was a nervous wreck. Oh, you better believe it, bro. I was petrified. I mean, that is a wild feeling, seeing all of your personal possessions that, you've spent years acquiring just driving off away from you. It's not a good feeling. I know. Yeah, I know. Thanks a lot to the World Economic Young Leader, right? Backyard Boogie says, hey, Mass, blame Pete Buttigieg, a.k.a. Booty Pete, for U.S. transportation system. Yeah. I mean, why on God's green earth would you need a paper ticket in 2023? Someone please explain that to me. GT says not AA or AMC. No, I could see individual people inside the theaters, maybe SJWs, doing crap like that. That I don't put past anyone. And especially if they think they're doing something that's justifiable, right? That they feel as though, oh, this is a good thing, right? Because we're protecting whoever they feel like they're protecting. I can see that. That I could see. Tommy B says, you have to understand that this is the establishment. They control everything. Satan in suits. I went to law school with their kids. I heard unbelievable stories of what the establishment does, Mass. I bet, Thomas. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, Ellie, woke employees, that I could see. Yeah. Yep. I could totally see that. That makes more sense to me. 1796 Patriots. Now, this is something that I've thought about. This I agree with. Something is weird about that. I agree with that. That was weird. Why? But I mean, look, and Adam Aaron's not taking a risk by putting Sounds of Freedom out in the theaters. They need movies right now, right? I mean, what's he gonna do? Say no? The thing brought in almost 60 million so far, right? So he's not going to say no to putting out Sounds of Freedom. But I do question why he didn't praise it a little more. That is quite interesting to me. I don't think he's rocking with those kind of people. I would certainly hope not. I would never want to be backing a company or invested in a company where anyone's condoning that type of behavior. I would absolutely be against that 100%. So don't get it twisted with that. So I wish he had praised it a little more. But I want him to be able to put the next time something like this comes up, I don't want him to have any hesitations and be like, conspiracy theorists came after me and, they were upset because some of the ACs broke down. I'm not going to even bother doing this. I don't want to get, let's not get off that track. I'd like to keep that, keep Adam Aaron open to anything that's going to do to help people who are victims of child trafficking or sex trafficking. I don't want to get any ideas in his head. Well, Ed, a lot of people are, right? By the way, if you guys remember to hit the like button when you come in, that would be awesome. If you remember. Ed says he's skeptical of the QAnon association. I get that, right? And look, I don't really have a feeling either way on QAnon, one way or the other. And I get where people come up with the QAnon association conspiracy, but we need to stop saying that there's a conspiracy theory around this, because there is no conspiracy. And this isn't a theory. There are kids out there right now being trafficked, no doubt about it, 100%. The child pornography in the United States is up 2,000% in 2023, I believe, year over year, which is just unfathomable if you think about it, that there's that many sick people in this country. But it's a problem, and anyone downplaying it, I would think should be criticized. I'm sorry. Okay, so Ice Cream makes a good point here, saying if it was produced by a big studio, he would have been shouting it from the mountaintops. I don't know why the studio association would have anything to do with that, Ice Cream, but let me know. Go a little deeper with that. Trying to see if I can follow your logic on why would Angel Studios picking it up and not Disney? Because who owned it originally? Fox, right? So when Disney bought Fox, they picked up the rights to it, and then Angel bought it from Disney. Again, why did Disney shelf it for as long as they did? That I have my suspicions on. I'm much more suspicious of them shelving it for the last 5 years than Adam Aaron not promoting it so much on maybe his social media, right? But I do think, look, I know when I first went down to Delaware, the last couple days of the testimony there for the court case for AMC in Wilmington, it was being flooded all over social media. I remember seeing Sounds of Freedom all over Twitter. There was a lot of buzz on it for YouTube. So it did a great job promoting itself without spending a ton of money like the studios have, the other studios, for, their multi-$100 million projects, right? So good for them. Sonny says, just got here. Are we talking about Sounds of Freedom? Yeah, we kind of jumped on that subject a little bit, Sonny. We were just saying that, no one should be criticizing this film. Lumping it in with QAnon conspiracies is just, it's outrageous in my opinion. Let's keep it real here. I mean, this is a serious problem. We have a major problem with the consumption of child pornography in this country that should be dealt with. Why? There should be an entire federal agency. If this is this big of a problem, if there's one thing the left and the right can get on the same page about, can we not protect children? Should we not have a federal agency that's protecting minors in this country, especially from something as horrific as child trafficking or being a sex slave? James says, I'm going to put Dana's comment. Dana says they didn't want to shine a light. Hang on, Dana. They didn't want to shine a light on the black market supply of their friend. Yeah, right. I mean, that sounds sickening, but there might be something to that. There probably is, Dana, right? Lizzie, how you doing tonight? What is going on, Lizzie? What did Jeff say? Backyard Boogie says, hey, Mass. Adam Aaron out there tickling them kids, laugh my ass. I hope not, man. Because he could swing too. All right, GT says, bro, saw a TikTok of a theory about Hollywood staging the strike because then they can claim AI when they are exposed for the evil. That's a pretty wild theory. I think people are legit. Striking right now. That I have no doubt about, right? What did Jeff say? What did I miss here? I don't see Jeff's message. Wait a minute, Ed, what are you talking about? The lead actor in what? Hang on 1 second, Andrew. The lead actor has been associated with QAnon for a while. Who, James Caviezel? Has been associated with QAnon? Since when? When has that been a thing? I've never heard Jim Caviezel associated with QAnon until Sounds of Freedom broke the internet. Never. Was the room comped? No. I wish. No, I had to pay for the room. They didn't comp me for shit. No, I haven't even heard back from Amtrak. If that's what you're asking about, what their official policy is as far as taking off with my stuff. Food Dog, I didn't check. I haven't gotten into bed yet. I was overnight on the train last night, so I left Philly at like 10 in the morning. And I got here 2 in the afternoon today, so I didn't sleep. Yeah, James, mass is not suicidal. Definitely not. Definitely not suicidal. That is for sure. Mr. Fu, how you doing tonight? Oh. 1796 Patriot. Yeah. Yeah. They had it for 5 years. Disney held on to it. Why? Don't ask me. I mean, again, this isn't a political thing. Like Stephen A. Smith was saying, with the murders going on right now in the inner cities, it's not a political thing. It's not a right or left thing. It's not a black or white thing. It's not a Republican Democrat thing. It's not a blue or red thing. It's a life and death. Same thing with the kids. No matter what we're talking about right now, I mean, there's, terrible things going on in the world right now that luckily are getting exposed right now. There are people out there who really care about this stuff, who don't want to see children being affected like this, who want to see better for their country, right? And thankfully we have a growing community, a population who is getting involved and really preaching and saying, listen, we need to clamp down on this. We should be dedicated unlimited amounts of time and funding to the protection of children in this country. That is the future of our nation. I mean, that is the next generation. Children are our future. If there's anything worth protecting, it is them, right? Can we all agree on that? Lupe, how are you tonight, my friend? Thank you very much, man. Much love. Thank you. And Food Dog, thank you. Thank you guys very much. Much love. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate you guys helping out, man. Like as always, I am completely humbled by the help I get from everyone who's been donating with super chats and on Venmo and Cash App. Honestly, I couldn't have this platform and this channel without you guys. So thank you so much for all of your help. Thank you. I just really want everyone to understand how important you are to keeping me going, because if it wasn't for that, there is no way I could continue to operate. So thank you for everyone who's doing that. Thank you. I know times are tough right now, and I'm not asking for anything from anyone. I'll never put anything behind a paywall on you guys or anything like that. But for all of you who can afford to help, I really, really love you and thank you. And that goes for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're helping with donations or just with the support on the channel. Just to have 100 people in the chat right now is such a humbling experience. So thank you guys very much. Lupe, Food Dog, 1796 Patriot. Thank you guys. James says it's a problem with our sons, not guns. You have to find the common denominator on the board of members of companies. It's fairly with a little effort. Kryptonian, same thing. I never heard that until he ran for president. I saw him get along with everyone from Grace Jones to Don King up to Kanye, and no one seemed to have a problem with them. Mike Tyson, back in the day, go look at the pictures from Studio 54 when Trump was just a millionaire tycoon in New York. He was hanging out with all kinds of people. Hulk says, Mass, do you think we should reset the AMC board with the upcoming meeting in August? And how long would that process take? Hulk, I don't know. Now, the AMC board is a different story, right? So let me go off on a sidetrack for a second. And we're talking about the country, but let me go talk about AMC for a second as far as the board goes. I have not been satisfied with everything that's gone on with AMC, with the leadership from Adam Aaron. I think there have been a couple miscalculations. I think that I've made some mistakes as an investor and seeing signs, maybe some warning signs I should have seen, especially when I think back to when they first wanted to have some dilution to raise capital and maybe some greediness on my part. With that said, I also think that Adam Aaron has done some things that were rather unsavory, in my opinion, looking back on them with hindsight 2020. But now we are where we are, and so I am rolling with the punches. I think we're too late into the process of everything that's gone on to try to flip the whole C-suite like that, Hulk. I have no idea how long that process would take. That's a huge undertaking to try to flip a board like that. You're talking about tons of pieces moving around. Yuka, thank you. Love you, man. Thank you, buddy. Why do you have to associate the super chat with Satan? Jesus. Tommy B, if I play the trailer to Sounds of Freedom, there's no way that they will monetize me. Not that this will get monetized anyways, because I've said pedo a couple times. And Thomas, what I'm mostly afraid of, Roseanne, have a good night. I see Roseanne in the chat. Says she's saying good night. I'm mostly afraid that I'm going to lose your signal if I go on and try to play the trailer. It's not even really so much about getting the copyright strike. I'm afraid if I try and go play the trailer, I'll lose you guys. You know what happens when Mass tries to do something more than the bare minimum of just coming on live. We drop the chat, we lose the live stream, everything starts slowing down. That's the only thing I'm nervous about, Tommy. Otherwise, I would play it, no problem. I could care less, right? I'm not going to get monetized for this video, I'm sure. Fu says, Mass, I forgot to hit the like button. Remedy, thank you, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Floyd, why do you say damn Yuka? Floyd says, I'm willing to vote them out. Yeah, me too. James, thank you, brother. James Harris with the super chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. James says, help with the trip. Don't spend it on booze and hookers. If someone wants to send me extra money for booze and hookers, I'll film it. Would that be selling my soul? Yeah, I think so, right? I'm supposed to be at least a somewhat upstanding citizen in this community. I can't be pulling a Hunter Biden with hookers. Right? Broke Ape says, I don't know, did poorly on earnings. I should do well in the AM. Tommy B says, no worries. Yeah, Thomas, you get it, right? Real Rugged said, DIY says, that bed looking mighty comfy. Bro, I haven't even got to sleep in it. I just got here this afternoon. My train was like 6 hours late. I would love Odell to come tell me a nursery rhyme. We could put her right here in this chair. Oh, yellow. Hulk says, what are your feelings on the actor strike? I do not see an immediate impact. No. No. Look, we have movies scheduled out right now till pretty much a full slate till the middle of 2024. Now, if this persists, I understand why the actors are striking. I understand. I get it. I think this whole thing about the AI technology and being able to use their likeness in perpetuity, that is a problem, right? I agree with their stance, and I would, I'm not a member of SAG. I went to school for film. I worked on a couple independent movies, doing production work. I was actually a production associate, production designer on a few different things. I understand why they are striking. I get exactly where they're coming from. Now, I'm also an AMC shareholder, so this is going to have an effect on my bottom line of the stock price. So the sooner this gets nipped in the bud, the better. I just, I think there's so much corporate greed right now that this is going to go on a little longer than we might all expect. But again, I think a lot of this is they've brought on themselves. Hollywood has brought this on themselves. The actors going along with this bullshit, a lot of them should have stood up a while back and said, listen, we need to change course here. Clearly something is not working. Why is it we are pulling stuff right off the movie theaters, putting them into streaming? That timeline should be extended. Things should be in the theater longer before they go on streaming. We need to make as much money from that as we can. As far as like all the DEI in Hollywood right now, look, everyone's going along with it. So you are all to blame. You're all part of this. Nobody stood up and said, we got to stop focusing on this. We got to start making just decent quality stories again, no matter, worried about if there's one disabled person in a wheelchair that has to be a main character in order to win an Academy Award. Like, we're getting way off track here. What the original idea behind Hollywood in the movie theaters was just to make stories, right? Make good quality stories that people want to go and pay money and put asses in seats, which ultimately, since we're all shareholders of AMC, that's what we need. So again, we're fighting so many different demons here on a daily level. I mean, forget it. Between the market makers and the brokers and the hedge funds and Hollywood and the actors and the writers. I mean, guys, you understand, right? It's a complete shit show that we've been up and fighting against this whole time. But credit to all of you guys who are still in the chat right now. There's over 100 people right now in our chat talking that are in the same place that we all are, right? GT says, I still can't figure out if Ape is going to stay down or move up prior to RS conversion. GT, if we knew the answer to that, I would have a definite place where 100% I can put my money and know I'm going to make money on it tomorrow. I just can't tell you either. I can't tell you one way or the other. I wish I knew too. Andrew says, I know Adam Aron's job is to make the company profitable, but when everyone's portfolio gets destroyed when you issue Ape and you are tweeting from the Taylor Swift concert, not a good look. Andrew agreed. Honestly, Ape is not. I know, guys. If you've been following me for a while, I've been ready to get rid of Ape for a long time. Now, I didn't come out with Wrench and Meet Kevin and Matt Kors and all them and tell anyone to sell their Ape. I never said that. But again, I saw half of my position wiped out with Ape almost, right? Looking back on it, I mean, how can you possibly be a fan of Ape at this point? We can't be. You'd have to be a loon to say you are a fan of what happened with Ape, right? Welp, all pushing with powder says, Welp, all Barbie movie products have sold out. That's good. Free Kekistan, how you doing tonight? Free Kekistan says, is it all really just Film Guild or is that South Park? Right? Man, South Park's been nailing it with their predictions lately. Damrick says a lot more than half. Yeah. I know. You're right, Damrick. Yeah. More than half. A lot more. I'm always trying to minimize it in my head, right? I'm trying to make it not sound as bad as it really is, Free Kekistan. Thanks for keeping me honest. Honey Horse says 8 pisses me off. Christian Princess, me too. Yeah. Look, if we didn't sell out 72, I need to see something else. I need to see something move for me to get excited about selling my stock. I just can't right now. There's not much I can get excited with. We got to hear from the judge. Until we hear from the judge, there's just no way to know what's going to happen, right? And whoever thought, when I bought my first share of AMC in 2020, I would have never have thought we'd be sitting here on July 18th of 2023, still holding, waiting for some type of squeeze. A monumental squeeze, not a baby gamma squeeze. Look, the run up to 72 was amazing, right? But that wasn't a massive squeeze. It wasn't. Your wife's boyfriend, yo, what's up? How you doing tonight, man? Good evening. How are you? Honey Horse says, the fact I have to choose between Ape and AMC. Yeah, I wish that, Honey Horse, that just on that fact alone, the division that it caused, never mind just splitting the stock and the money, right? And the money aspect of it, the financial aspect of it. But it also helped to split the community, right? It divided us. It divided the stock and it divided the price. It just bad all around. Your wife's boyfriend said they definitely started a war, right? Yeah, that we've been in since 2021. What are you supposed to do? Yuka says Dana can get you excited, Mass. Out of control, Yuka. Out of control. They took away the buy button. Never could forget, says BBD. Yeah, that's why I was saying that to the guy on the train today, BBD. The other retail investor who's holding GME. I was like, man, I'm like, ever since 2021, I just, I can't let them off the hook with that, right? I can't let them get away with that. Ellie said, none of us did, yet here we are. I think they will finalize their CBDCs and pay us that way. I just can't even imagine how many shares retail is holding right now. I wish I could know. I would love to know the real number. Danny, you're naughty. 1796 Patriot says, me either, Mass. We're supposed to be SFR way before now. I know. God, Ellie, I don't want to see CBDCs, though. I really don't. That just screams corruption to me. Corruption and manipulation and yeah, it's just but they're talking about it. It's happening, right? Maggie, good evening. How are you tonight, Maggie? Maggie Acorn in the chat says, how's it going, Mass? Everything's going okay, Maggie. I'm in Chicago right now. I'm just outside of O'Hare Airport. I'm heading to Kenosha tomorrow, up on the train, and then coming back late tomorrow afternoon to head the next leg of the trip. I was telling everyone earlier, Maggie, Amtrak yesterday, took off with so these back here are my Pelican briefcases that I hold my camera equipment in, the computer equipment, audio, everything's in those cases. I put those 3 cases on an Amtrak train yesterday, ran back upstairs to the ticket area to grab a second rollaway bag because I have so much luggage with me. Came back down and the train, Amtrak, took off with my Pelican briefcases and left me standing on the platform because I didn't have a paper ticket. So I just got back my camera equipment early this morning and got into Chicago. Crazy. Crazy, Maggie. But other than that, I'm okay. It all worked out. I'm here. I'm in Chicago now. I have all my equipment. But I was pretty pissed earlier. I freaked out on Amtrak. But other than that, everything's okay. Thank you for asking. Floyd says, but that's what it is. Corruption 100%. Yeah, Floyd. Look, we have gotten help from no one. Everybody who's bought into this play in AMC, no one is following the rules. We're the only ones who have to abide by them. So this entire time that we've been holding, we've been up against forces that are they're not pushovers. The hedge funds are not pushovers. This was never going to be an easy cause, right? This was always going to be a battle. They started a war back in January 2021, and here we are. Your wife's boyfriend says you definitely need the volume to skyrocket. Absolutely 100%. BBD says he also shouted bomb. So, Maggie, when the train took off, there was a customer service rep that happened to be standing on the platform as the train pulled away. And I said, you need to stop that train. My camera equipment's on it. And he goes, there is nothing that will stop that train. And I yelled out and said, I shouldn't even repeat this. But I yelled to the guy and said, I bet you if I called in a BOMB threat, they would stop the train. And thank God I didn't get in trouble. And they let me back on to Amtrak. I lost it a little bit. Yuka says, Mash, you think Gasparino will fit in that Pelican case? Fuck that guy. Gasparino, what an asshole. He's another one. Andrew says it doesn't seem like the buys hit the market. They all end up in the... We're not seeing any price action reflected off buying, right? Buying pressure? Yeah. Guys, you have to give me 1 second. I got to run and use the restroom very quickly. And I'm going to grab a coffee. I'm going to try and stay up with you guys for a little longer. So I'm going to run and grab a coffee, guys. Give me 5 or 6 minutes to run and grab a coffee from the lobby. Hopefully you can hang out for a little bit while I go do this. All right. I'll be right back, guys. All right, we're back. My apologies. I had to get some coffee. This is the only way I'm going to stay up with you guys. All right, we're back. Who said Mike Gensler? Get out of here with that. Got to re-up on the chapstick supply. I got to get some coffee, damn it. I've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. Plus, I think, no. What time is it here? It's 12:10 in the morning. Yeah, I'm on Chicago time right now. Dimrick says, Thomas James said squeeze tomorrow. He's never wrong. Tommy's never wrong. God, if I had a penny for every thumbnail that kid's made that the squeeze is tomorrow. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I thought the conductor told me, oh no, it wasn't the conductor. Someone told me on the train, actually, that we were moving over to Central Time, but I didn't think so. I thought it was one more state over. I thought Illinois was still in the East Coast. So, yeah, it's 12:10. That's right. Andrew says, Zern has nothing on the calendar Friday. Please, Zern, say something. You think we'll hear it by Friday? Is that what people are speculating? We're going to hear something by the end of the week? I think Thomas James is AI, says Yuka. He might be, man. He's creepy. To me, there's like no life in him. I just, there's no spark behind. I'm looking for something. Something, Tommy James. He just reads tweets as your wife's boyfriend. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he comes on, reads a tweet. He's got a promotion from Moo Moo. You can says mass that mother effer is not real. Yeah, I know. Seriously, comes on. He's got the host spiel. Everything is. It seems like every statement is pre-planned. I mean, man, if I had, I remember back in the day, I used to write down so much more. Just stuff that was irrelevant that I was bringing to the table that made no difference, right? I mean, being realistic about this, and especially when we're talking about the stock market, it's so important. People got money at stake here. Like, it's not a game. It's not a game. Philip, how you doing tonight? Lower end of the speed spectrum. It's the only way I messed up tonight, man. Lower end of the speed spectrum. He has an English accent to be trustworthy. I wonder if that's a real thing that people actually think that. Now I understand the whole concept. The British accent does sound very intellectual, right? It sounds very intelligent, but the words are important. Right? Not just the spin on the dialect. Phil says, great, thanks. Good, man. Good to see you. Einstein says, hello to all the Shaw late nighters. KC Shaw. Hope KC is doing well. Down in Austin. Oh, no, not Austin. Houston, I think KC is. Honey Horse says, English food sucks. James says, squeeze this Friday. Everyone knows that. Clearly, Thomas does. We know that, right? James is going to flap those arms so hard one day and hit the ceiling. I know. Oh, well, what are you going to do? He's, look, the kid's on a roll. He's got a channel that's pumping out material. There's a lot out there that is unnecessary. Again, there's people that are making a decent living off this, right? That are putting out material day after day unnecessarily, and people are clicking and watching. And look, if that's your form of entertainment, go for it. Just, I think it's important to keep reminding everyone that's a creator on here that there are hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. All of us have a lot of money invested in AMC, in the market itself. So when you're coming out and saying things to people, understand there is a reaction to every action. And you got to be careful with your words. I mean, people are making financial decisions off. I'm not saying, I know it's not people in my chat, but there are people who are out there making decisions based off what YouTubers are saying. You just got to be aware of that. We really don't know how this is going to play out. We never knew we were going to be in this situation, or especially, definitely me. I did not think we would be in this position this far into this, right? KL says, hey, Mass, been here since January 21. Thanks for all you do. Enjoy your trip, bud. Hey, man, thank you. KL, I know the avatar. Thank you, man. Appreciate you still being here with me. I appreciate you guys. Man, the loyalty from this channel and this community that I see is just, it really is amazing to see all you people still hanging out with me, rocking with the stock, taking the punches as they come. I'm very humbled by all the support. So thank you guys. Food Dog says, Billy87, I don't even like people who wear muumuus. Never mind promote them. James, of course I've seen all the Monty Pythons, but don't tell me you've never heard that before, that people have said that. PM Righteous, how you doing tonight? What's going on, man? Good evening. Hope you guys are all doing okay. If you're just joining in, good to see you, PM. Like, again, coming on here, seeing all my OGs, seeing all you guys still here rocking with me. Thank you, man. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about toilet paper and how much it will make AMC squeeze. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about toilet paper and how it will make AMC squeeze. Let's make some money. Oh, man. Good stuff, bro, Gabe. Now, let's make some money. Okay. You do that. Gorilla Godness says, yo, Mass, are you looking into the 15-minute cities while you're on your travels? Gorilla Gardener. No, I haven't really. You know what? I haven't really looked into that too much. I know, Gorilla Gardener, I know a little bit about this, but I'm not up to par on the 15-minute city thing. I'm going to have to look into that. I really should be more up to date and informed on that. Now let's make some money. Honey Horse says, let's make some honey. There you go. Speaking of toilet paper, says GT, I've been saying they should have their own brand. We need it anyways. 1796 Patriot. No, Matt Kors wouldn't sell me a fanny pack. I told you, right? Andrew coming in with the $6.67 USD super chat to beat Yuka Frida by a penny. Says, I would not be able to sleep tonight if I did not super chat more than Yuka. Andrew, thank you, man. Much love. I appreciate you. Thank you, man. You guys know most of this money goes back in the channel. I'm up here talking with you guys now. This goes to support me carrying my stuff around and getting from one place to another and being on here tonight. So thank you very much, Andrew. I appreciate you. Everyone who's donated tonight, thank you. AMC sell price, DBO popcorn. I would never tell you guys what to sell at. It's not at my price yet. I will let you know when I sell, though. I definitely will let everyone know when I sell my AMC and my ape. I think, that day is going to come someday. It's going to be here. I don't know when, but whenever that day does come, until then, I'm going to continue to keep up the struggle with you guys, fight for a more fair market, fight for more transparency, and try to get, there's a bunch of things that need to be. Oh, let me say this too before I forget, real quick. Almost everyone I've talked to on this road trip, Almost everyone. DBO popcorn, no way. Almost everyone I've talked to on this road trip has said we need term limits in Congress. And I'm going to say it right now. I agree with, and if any of you are watching right now, 100%, that is a big problem in this country. We need to have term limits in Congress. These people should not be allowed to just be a lifetime appointments. It almost is like that's how it is. And that needs to be changed. And I agree with everyone. Maggie, thank you so much, darling. Maggie with the super chat. Thank you, Maggie. Andrew says the proceeds from these super chats go to the Let's Mass Say Bomb on a Train fund. How about Mass's bail fund I might need for that? Maggie, thank you very much. Appreciate you. I'm never going to say that word ever again. I'm so surprised that even came out of my mouth. But I was so desperate in that moment. Again, when you see your entire life slipping through your fingers, right? You will think of anything to bring an end to that misery. Thank you, Maggie. Appreciate you. There is no other feeling worse than seeing that happen. Oh, boy. Thank God I have you guys. SEAPA says SEC coffee fund, right? I know. It's sad that my hotel has free coffee, but the SEC doesn't. Tommy B says, don't worry, Mass. I'll represent you for free. Reach out. Please reach out to whatever jail I'm in and tell them that you're my lawyer. Officially from here on out, Thomas B is representing the Massalorian. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. See, people got my back. I can... Man, it's good to know I have an attorney representing me now. Oh, man. BBD says, I can see a blacked out van rolling up a Mass old school style. Right? Right? GTA says, absolutely. A perfect world, term limits for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that from almost everyone that I've gotten that deep into a conversation with. So some of the people that I've interviewed so far we haven't gotten into political conversations, but almost everyone I've talked to we've had a political conversation has agreed and said, you know what, term limits is one of the most important things. You know, we got one hell of a fight on our hands, man, in this country. And, I just feel very blessed to have as many people as I do, in this chat right now talking about these things because it's important. It's relevant. It's important for the future of this country. And it's something I'm passionate about, and I know all of you guys are. Food Dog says, Mass, put an I love bed post on the old Citadel building. I'm going to see if I can get into it tomorrow. My first mission tomorrow morning is get up and get to Kenosha. But if I have time when I come back, I'm going to try to head down there to the financial part of the city. But yeah, definitely Kenosha is important. I want to go see what Kenosha looks like in 2023. And I don't know if many people have done a lot of reporting from there or on the ground from there. Maybe it's going to be a happy, bubbling, productive, economically strong place. I have no idea what I'm going to run into tomorrow. I'm about to find out. Maggie says the most important thing to do is get rid of Brandon. Yeah, I would say the Chicago mayor and the chief of the country, both of them. GT says if we get paid, the fight is on. That's another thing, right? They don't want retail to win this. I mean, I'm not delusional with that, right? I get it. They don't want us to win. We're in the fight of our lives right now. I mean, we have been for a long time. No one said this was going to be easy, and it clearly is not. Harry J, what's going on, man? Good evening tonight. Andrew says, why am I having visions of mass fighting with the flight attendants? Meet the parents. Andrew, that's happened before. I've had some tirades on the tarmac before. Actually, you want to see something funny? Hold on. Hang on one sec, guys. All right. Tell me if you guys can see this here. You see this here? So I have to carry. Uh-oh. Oh, no. There we go. So I have to carry this around with me from the TSA because a while back, I was taking a trip. I think I was going back to school. I was flying from Boston back to, I believe, to San Diego. And my mother had stuck some things in my backpack that were not legal to bring on an airplane. So TSA had me on a list for a while. I'm not going to say what it was that was in my bag, but it was something that was not allowed on airplanes. And I have to carry that around with me at all times. But thinking back to yesterday and me saying the BOMB word on the train, I'm like, how stupid. I have to carry around this damn letter for TSA for the airports in case I have to take a flight. Imagine if I had to get the same thing for Amtrak just so I could ride the damn train because I did something stupid or said a 4-letter word that got me in trouble. By the way, I'm looking right now at CNN. Anderson Cooper. Trump is a target of special counsel's January 6th criminal probe. GOP complains of weaponized government and fake charges. What are they charging Trump with as far as January 6th goes? Andrew says that. No, I didn't yell bomb. It did not vibrate, Domrick. No. None of that. No. Actually, you know what it was? That and my mother didn't realize she was doing this, but she put fireworks in my backpack. I had like Black Cat fireworks that were in, I forget if it was a cigar box or where it was, but she stuck it in my backpack. I tried to go on a plane. They pulled me out of line, asked me what these were. And I'm like, I have no idea how those got in there. There was a huge ordeal. They had to call my mother, verify that she had packed my backpack without my knowledge, and put things in there that I had no idea I was carrying. Crazy. Lucy said, what if you name your service dog Bomb? That's a good question. I probably would be in trouble. I know. I think my mother was trying to set me up. She was trying to get me federally charged. Get me out of the house. I was going back to school. There was no need to pack my bag with explosives. My parents set me up. Now it all makes sense looking back. They definitely wanted me out of the house and not coming back, right? Unbelievable. Yeah, so I got to carry that stupid letter around with me. And now thinking back to it, how dumb that was. But man, I was shaking. I was so freaked out that my stuff was driving away from the platform on a train. I'm like, oh my God. I can't believe I just got separated from everything I need to continue doing YouTube, to continue trading in the market. I mean, everything. Broke Ape says you guys are short crazy. Oh boy. I don't know. All right, so we're rolling up on the 2-hour mark. It is about to be 12:30 here. So let me just let you guys know what my plan is for tomorrow. I'm going to head up to Kenosha in the morning tomorrow, shoot some film, and see what I discover when I go there. Hopefully, I'm not expecting to come back with a good story, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. I have no idea what I'm going to run into tomorrow. I just remember, I remember clear as day thinking back to what was it, the summer of 2020, right? And the whole thing with the Jacob Blake shooting, and then the Kyle Rittenhouse thing that went down. And I remember Kenosha burning in the background, people saying it was a mostly peaceful protest. I'm interested to go see what it looks like 3 years later. Has it fully recovered? How are the people of Kenosha doing? Yeah. I'm interested to see how it looks. All right, guys. Thank you for everyone who showed up tonight. If you remember to hit the like button when you leave or come in, thank you. Thank you for my mods tonight to keeping everything in the chat. Awesome. I mean, I honestly, I think I have one of the best chats out there. I don't even really worry about my mods anymore. But thank you guys, everyone who joined and supported the channel tonight. To those of you who dropped a super chat, hey Prometheus, what's up, bro? Sorry, Mass, we're having to build a new cell phone. Maggie, oh God, who else super chat tonight? Fu, Lupe, thank you. 1796 Patriot. Brocate, man, you're the bomb. Thank you, man. Lucy, thank you for coming by, supporting this channel. I love all you guys. I really appreciate all of you guys coming by, stopping and supporting me on this trip, on this film, doing this documentary. I can't thank you guys enough. And hang in there, all right? Everyone's, we're fighting a good fight. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. What we're doing is important. Staying together is important. I can't do any of this without you, and I really appreciate all the support and love from you guys. All right. Let me see. Maybe tomorrow night do a live stream. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Depends how long I'm out in the streets for tomorrow. We'll see how tired I am, but I'll get some rest tonight. I didn't get too much sleep on the train. I'll get some rest. I'll get some rest tonight, and I'll touch in with you guys in the next 48 hours or so. Love all y'all. Thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate all the love, the support. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Get some sleep. Good night, everyone.